So that is me just recording this. All right. So I hope everybody is doing well this evening. Again, it's Tori from Avalon Enchanted. We are located at 24 Brown Street in Wickford, Rhode Island, and we bring you every week the Ascended Illuminations reading. My partner Cindy and I switch off back and forth between bringing you the reading, and this week is my week. So I am back. Get rid of that in the background. I am back from Sedona and had a fantastic time, which was absolutely amazing. I can see why people fall in love with Sedona. I definitely would have liked to have stayed longer if that was possible. But needless to say, I needed to get back home because we have so much going on. A lot of great stuff going on. Let's see. So the way that the Ascended Illuminations reading works, for those of you that might be new and joining us. And again, if you're catching this as a replay, please do hashtag replay so that way we know how far the video goes. I will pull 3 oracle cards, and this deck of oracle cards is the Mystic Sisters. So the Mystic Sisters, okay? And basically, okay, so Mania popped out. Let's see who else popped out. Eris popped out. Let's see who else pops out. What I'm doing is they're coming forward and selecting. Here's another one. Awakening. Pull one more. Cygnus. So we got Cygnus, Eris, and I'm going to pull one more as those go flying. Interestingly enough, what popped out is Aphrodite. So I have Aphrodite. Okay. I have Eris. And I have Cygnus. So those are the 3 goddesses that popped out. So you choose one of the 3 goddesses. And based upon the goddess that you choose, I do a reading for A, a reading for B, and a reading for C. And based upon whichever, goddess you select, that is your reading. So A is Aphrodite, B is Eris, and C is Cygnus. Okay. So let's go ahead and start. And I'll start to also tell you guys about some of the cool things that happened while I was in Sedona, as well as a lot of cool stuff that we have coming up for the month of October. It's funny because I always say October is kind of like our version of the Super Bowl, and it totally is. It is totally our version of the Super Bowl. I know for me, I am balls to the wall, busy with different events, with different coaching sessions. Ooh, that popped out. With what else? With different table tipping circles, with different events that we're having in studio, classes, etc. So, and also we have a lot going on for October in the village, in Wickford Village itself too, which I'll certainly go through this evening. Hey, Kathy, how are you? So let's see what the reading comes up for Aphrodite. So I'm actually using a new set of cards that I picked up while I was in Sedona. It's the Luna Edition Ethereal Visions Tarot. It's a really pretty deck. And it's shiny, so I'm like a crow. If it's shiny, I am all over it. Hey, Kim, how are you? Okay, so let's take a look and see. So Kim, we have Aphrodite, who is for reading A, Eris for reading B, and Cygnus for reading C. So I'm just starting with A. So this way, if you are selecting Aphrodite as the goddess that you're drawn to, here she is, then this is your reading. So let's take a look and see what we got going on. We have, we've come far. We've definitely come far, but we're still not necessarily fully out of the woods yet. There really is a need for slowing some things down for people who choose A. And I do see that once you slow things down and are able to really work through some of the processing, you're going to find that things move forward again. So that's a good thing. I do have some, I'm not going to say tower moments, but I do have some moments where you may find yourself kind of struggling a bit, I'm going to say, with the Five of Pentacles, and a little bit with the Hanged Man. But with that being said, I feel like there's a lot in terms of working what you've worked through, getting to the other side, giving yourself the time that you need to heal, that you need, excuse me, to rejuvenate yourself. And that's going to be kind of what this week entails. Okay. So you may find that this is going to be a week of almost like self-love, self-care. And that is going to be something that is much needed and is going to be something that in the long term is going to allow you to kind of process a lot and work through a lot. We have the World card, which is all about shifting change, all about cycles, you know, one cycle ending, a new one beginning. So I feel like with whatever you've been going through this particular cycle, you're going to find that you're on the tail end of it and the cusp of a new one, which I think if I pull another card, the Moon. So, you know, you're going to have to really kind of trust your gut, use your intuition. You may find that you're not necessarily seeing all the pieces up front. So don't be alarmed by that. Okay. Don't be alarmed by that, because that is going to be something that it's like you're only going to be told what you need to know at that time. You're not going to be given the whole scope of things, the whole picture of things, because you don't need to know everything all at one time. So just take it step by step, day by day. Okay. So this week for people who chose A, which is Aphrodite, it's really a focus of refining yourself, allowing yourself to slow things down, allowing yourself to kind of reignite who you are, and then, you know, working through it. So that's what's going to be going on for the people who chose A. Interestingly enough, people who've chosen A, this is going to be a week of discernment, and you're going to find that there are going to be things that Spirit is going to kind of like dangle in front of you in order to kind of bite into things, in order to kind of go back in some of maybe the patterns that you've been in before. So really fight through that. Don't allow yourself to take the bait, so to speak. So that way you're really going and really doing the recuperation process that you need. So you're able to heal and integrate. Okay. So let's take a look at B. And like I said, B is Eris with all the arrows. So I'm actually recording this evening, not only on Facebook, but I'm also recording it on Zoom, because I'm going to be putting it up also to our YouTube page. So what I do is I put our weekly recordings, if you've ever missed them and you can't find them in our Facebook feed, then you can always find them under Tori McNally on YouTube. And I post Cindy's as well. So there was the card that just flew out. So that's always something to kind of know. If you've had a couple of strenuous weeks, or if you ever need to kind of go back and pinpoint stuff, that's a good way of doing it, by looking back at the different weeks that we've been able to post. And they're all there. Most of them are there. They're not all there, but most of them are there. Okay. So let's take a look and see what we got for Eris. Put Aphrodite back on the file. All right. So let's take a look at B. People who chose B, who chose Eris. I'm showing that there's just a lot that you're kind of being pulled in different directions on. Okay, so people who chose B or Eris, you're finding that there's a lot of directions that are kind of pulling you kind of all over the place. Hey, Sharon. And this is going to be something that you're going to really want to literally take the bull by the horns and dig deep. Literally, here's the strength card. Okay, and this is falling in the personal house. So you're going to really have to kind of be on top of your game. You're really going to have to dig deep and find your balance. Okay, see the scales, finding your balance. Again, we have the Six of Pentacles, which also has the scales, and the Knight of Pentacles is also about new energy coming in, new things coming in. So it's like you've been kind of given a new opportunity and you're going to be hitting the ground running. You've done all of your preparatory work. All right, this is the Eight of Pentacles, so it's a matter of being patient. So now is your time. Literally here we have, so this is interesting because this is the Hierophant card, what it looks like. And to me, it's showing me that your star is coming in. You know, your star is coming in. So you've been patient, you've been working through things. Just keep on doing your work. Don't lose your sight of where you need to be moving forward to and the path in front of you. Okay, that's going to be something that's super important. Make sure that you know that you know what's ahead of you. It's almost like this week you're going to have to be a couple of steps ahead of you. We do have, now it's interesting because the World card in this deck is called the Well. Okay, and with the Well, obviously wells have water, which definitely can be emotional, but it's also very rejuvenating. So you're going to find that this new opportunity that you've been working toward, that you've been handed, that literally just flew in from the cosmos, it's going to be okay. You're going to have to dig deep and you're going to have to definitely, be open to the hard work of what's coming. But I think that it's going to give you the peace of mind and it's going to get you where you need to be. All right. So take that into consideration. The Moon card, like I said, with the reading for A, there are pieces of this that you might not necessarily be seeing the full view on, and that's going to be something that you're just going to have to give into the universe and allow the universe to guide you, but try and stay a couple steps ahead if you can. Okay, but don't get frustrated. All right, don't get frustrated. Another card, the Chariot. There's your forward movement. There's your forward movement. Okay, and there's the Lion. We got the yin and the yang with the lion there too. So it's like you're going to be fine, just be aware that there's going to be a lot of work that you're going to have to really kind of dig deep in and work on. Okay, so that's something to think about. So that is the reading for B, for Eris. Now, while I'm picking up the cards, I just want to talk about a couple of things. So for the month of October, Cindy is actually doing an awesome healing special. She's actually doing a healing special of $77. Usually her healings, which are either quantum healing or violet flame healing, which allows you to really release different things that are within your body, that are within your aura, that are within your energy field, to release what you don't need and to change and correct anything that needs to be corrected, to allow for things to come in for you. Okay, so on a quantum level, we're talking about many different dimensions with that particular type of healing. All right, so she's actually offering the healings for the month of October, and they are $77. Usually her healings are $130. So for the first 3 people that sign up and contact Cindy, you can contact directly through the Avalon Enchanted Facebook page. You can contact Cindy through our website, which is Tori at AvalonEnchanted.com. We'll get you set up with Cindy for this month. So the first 3 people who are looking to get a healing or sign up for a healing, it's going to be $55. Once she reaches those 3 people, it's going to be $77, which is still an awesome deal, because like I said, her healings are usually $130. So that's something to think about. She is very good at what she does. She uses the energy of Saint Germain and the violet flame to help guide and heal as well. He is someone that's tied in with alchemy, and sometimes we are reborn from the flames. So something to think about. All right, so we just had 2 cards pop out. I'm going to leave those to one side, and let's see what we got for C, which is Cygnus. So here's Cygnus. Here's Cygnus. Swords has been popping up pretty successfully for all 3 readings. Same thing with the King of Swords. Same thing with the Ten of Wands. There's the Queen of Swords. This is weird. I mean, I shuffled and I shuffled well, and there's a lot of the cards from the last reading that have popped back up. They may have popped up in a slightly different order or different spot on our board here today, but there are some definite themes. You know, we have some wands, we have some pentacles. So people who've chosen Cygnus, there's going to be some, again, there are going to be moments where that you are going to be receiving some great news and great information. Financially speaking, you know, something successful is coming in. Again, here's your shooting star. That was just from the last reading, so that's something to take into consideration. And the need for staying in balance, the need for really allowing yourself to be open to receiving. I think that for people who've chosen C, you're really going to need to focus on making sure that you know, and even in, hey Angela, and even in your mind and soul, that you are worthy of receiving this week. Okay, so that's going to be something that's important to really focus on. We have a lot of new opportunities, like I said, coming in. There's a whole new adventure. Here's the Fool. Okay, this guy is like hanging about off the cliff, about ready to jump. Question is whether or not your leap of faith, the spirit have your back. And we have the Emperor. So yes, you do have a solid support system. Pull another card. You may find though that, so we do have the 3 of Swords. So usually what this means is there's some sort of issue relationship wise. Hi Veronica. And so this is going to be something where you may have a little bit of conflict with the people who have your back, but they're doing it from a place of love. Okay, so just kind of think of that in that direction. The other thing I also want to mention is we do have the Five of Wands, and ultimately there are going to be some tough challenges. King of Pentacles, okay? There are going to be some tough challenges. I almost feel like those are going to be materializing next week, though, okay? With what's been going on. So you may find that this week, you're in the process of having these new ventures land in. So now it's a way of kind of formulating a plan and then figuring out, okay, how do I proceed and how do I move on from here? So that's going to be a little bit of challenge. You may get a little bit of pushback, but that's going to be something that you're going to work through. Let me try pulling one more card. Six of Wands. Yeah, you got this. You're going to reach victory. But what I'm going to say is sometimes victory appears in small steps. So just keep that in the back of your mind. We can't necessarily go, you can see Charlie behind me. You can't necessarily go from step A to step Z. You have to kind of go through A, B, C, and so on. So just know that don't skip steps, because you're going to find that that's going to be something that trips you up. But be aware that there's a process for this. There's a guidance for this. And your best bet is really focusing on, as you're focusing on your game plan and letting everything drop in, really staying in balance, staying in a place where you're being positive, you're looking ahead, you're looking forward. The universe has your back, you have a good support system, but just keep that in mind. Now, the cards that flew out of the deck, we have the Page of Cups, and we have the Page of Pentacles. So you do have some interesting things, like I said, that are going to get some attention. There may be some things that you're going to have to drop in order to successfully transition this into what you want to work on and what you want to work with. Okay, so keep that in the back of your mind for people who've chosen C. One other thing I also want to mention, and I'm being told to pull another card, Knight of Cups. Okay. Yeah, you guys are in for a wild ride. There's a lot of forward movement. There's a lot of emotions. So try not to have the knee-jerk reactions coming from a place of emotion that translate into how you are making your plans. Because I think that's going to be the part where when I pulled the Fool, I pulled these two. So I pulled the Emperor, and I pulled the Three of Hearts. Okay, so there's just be careful of the emotions. Try and take the emotions out of it if you can, because sometimes we're coming from a place of fear, or we're coming from a place where we're being super protective. So that's just one thing to kind of keep in the back of your mind. So that is C. And that was the goddess Cygnus. So a couple things that are coming up that I just want to quickly run through. I know I already mentioned Cindy's healings that she's doing for the month of October. She's actually doing a special of $77. First 3 people who contact her or contact the Avalon Enchanted page to schedule will get them for $55. And she's going to be doing them at $77 for the month of October. Some other things that are coming up. So this coming Friday, I am actually reading at the Bejeweled and Bedazzled event. Interestingly enough, that's a fun event. I did it last year. I'm doing it again this year because I enjoyed it, and it had a great crowd. But it is a place called Chase Farms, which is a historical nonprofit, historical house kind of place, and they have a lot of land there. So that is actually where they shot Hocus Pocus 2. All of Hocus Pocus 2 was actually shot in Rhode Island. It was shot in Newport. It was shot in Providence on Federal Hill. It was shot in other areas in Providence, as well as the fields there in Lincoln, where they actually set up the actual buildings, I guess you could say, of the olden times, when they went back in time in the movie. So that's cool. I'll be doing readings there. I'll be doing the Egyptian runes readings. I'll be doing the Ogham readings, which are the Celtic runes readings. I'll also be doing some of the different Egyptian healing as well. So I'll be doing that. I'm also going to be, let's see, I'm looking up at my calendar, so bear with me for a while I do this. Let's see. Yeah, so I'm actually doing the A Touch of Magic Psychic Fair both days, which is October 7th, which is a Saturday, and October 8th, which is Sunday. So they're going to be readings. Basically, it's first come, first serve with other readers that are there, but we're going to be reading all day. So that will be a fun event. So we now are going to be rolling into Wicked Week in Wickford. So initially, since we are in Wickford, we joined the business owners group, so the Shop Owners Association. And when we did that, they're like, oh, you can help us with Wicked Week, which has now turned into 3 weeks of all sorts of awesome events. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about those, so that way you can kind of figure out if there's something that catches your interest. I would say you can go on to the I Love Wickford Village Facebook page, and it will give you all of the details. But we have the Harbor Lights event that's coming up on the 13th, and Cindy and I will be doing readings for that. We'll be doing mini readings for that that evening. And when we do that, we usually do 15-minute readings and 15-20-minute healings, so people can sign up for those if they want. We also have a really cool event that's coming up on Saturday the 14th, which is going to be a really nice event. So the Veterans Association is actually hosting an Oktoberfest in Wickford. And the Oktoberfest is going to be kind of cool because there'll be all sorts of different foods and bands and all sorts of entertainment to work with. The shops and all of Wickford is going to be dressed up for Halloween. Some of it's already started. So that's going to be fun. So we'll be there during the Oktoberfest, and open and available for people coming in and having a reading. Some other exciting things that we're really excited to talk about is that we are now able to sell crystals. So we actually have a whole bunch of really cool different crystals. Some of them are tumbles, little ones that you can carry with you. Some of them are some really cool specimens that we've been picking up, and I've been kind of cherry picking. And they have been, they're really, really nice. So we have some really great stuff. So check those out. We hope down the road to be also able to offer some hand-poured candles, some essential oils, and then also maybe even some tarot decks. We also have some smudge sticks and so on. So you can definitely check us out. Generally, we're there on weekends simply because of the way things are in the village and our schedules, especially with appointments and stuff. But so Harbor Lights, the night of the Friday the 13th, so it's actually spooky Harbor Lights. Okay. October 14th, the Oktoberfest. And then that night we have tea and tarot. So we're going to be making some really fun and special tea concoctions, and it's all non-alcoholic mocktails, okay? But we're going to be making some tea concoctions and then having readings. So it will be a very fun and special reading night. And the theme for our tea and tarot, we're going to be offering this every other month, and we're going to be focusing on doing a really fun and special theme with it each time. So this month is going to be the witch's apothecary. Okay, so that will be definitely cool. Then Cindy's also going to be hosting her Violet Flame Healing Circle on the 17th. I'll actually be at A Touch of Magic on Tuesday the 17th with table tipping from 6:30 to 8:30. So if you're interested in tickets, contact A Touch of Magic. You can actually go right onto their website and purchase your ticket. I know that there's still tickets available. So that is also very, very cool. So Saturday the 21st, that is a fun day. Okay. Saturday the 21st is the Dancing Witches Parade. Last year, they had over 400 witches, people dressed up in witches outfits with brooms, doing the special funky witches dance and so on. So they're going to be dancing down the parade route, biking down the parade route, you name it. So there's going to be a lot of great activity. It's going to be great people watching. Come just for the people watching, because that's going to be really fun. There's going to be all sorts of entertainment going on and so on, and we'll be offering readings and have the shop open. Sunday the 22nd is actually our witches paddleboard parade, which starts at 12 noon. Weather permitting, the rain date is the 29th. But that is actually a cool event. So the paddle company that we have in Newport does a lot, and they have started hosting these annual witches paddleboards. So picture a bunch of people dressed up as witches on paddleboards paddling, and it's really fun. It's really fun. So definitely check that out. We also have on the 26th of October, the Spooky Sip and Stroll. So what does that mean? So that means that we have a lot of great evening events planned and activities planned. We have the shops open on Thursday, the 26th in the evening for the Spooky Sip and Stroll. And it is always great fun, and it's always an opportunity to check out the town of the village of Wickford, because it's always such a really, really special place. So what else? We have some other stuff going on. I'm just looking at my calendar. Oh, 28th, that's a very big day. We actually have on the 28th of October, we have the Horribles Parade and trick-or-treating throughout the village. So the rain date for that one is the 29th as well. But that's going to be a really fun day. It's awesome that day because you have a whole bunch of families that are there, and they're all dressed up, and it's just a really fun energy day. The kids and the families are absolutely adorable, and you gotta love that there's chocolate involved. So hey, you gotta love that, right? So that's happening. We're also going to be hosting the Hunter's Moon, Harvest Moon, full moon ceremony on the 28th as well. So that one we have tickets available. And then finally, we have Tim Cranston's tour, which is a historical tour of Wickford. He's done some amazing tours over the years, some graveyard haunted tours, which are fantastic. So he's going to be doing that on the 29th. We're also going to be having a talk by a friend of mine who's going to be talking about the runes, because as some of you may know, we have the Wickford runestone and the whole controversy regarding the runestone that's there in Wickford. So we'll be talking about that. One last thing that we have coming up, and that's actually November 1st. So we lump this in with all of the Halloween activities because technically Same type of concept, but anyhow. So we're actually going to be hosting an ancestors table tipping on November 1st. And that one is going to be a very special table tipping because it's focused strictly on the ancestors. So bringing forward the ancestors. Some of you might be going, what on earth is table tipping? So table tipping is a form of physical mediumship where people are able to connect with their loved ones, friends, pets, spirit guides, angels, guardian angels, ascended masters. And when I say ascended masters, think Buddha, Mother Mary, Kuan Yin, Merlin, etc. Okay. So that is actually going to be on November 1st from 7 to 9 p.m. Space for that is limited, just so you are aware. And to me, that is not allowed. So we're going to be removing that. And I'm going to say, Teresa, please ignore that particular comment because that is something that gets blocked and is not something that is offered through us. So we are just letting you know that. Okay. I will be letting Facebook know that to me, Prestoma or Prayatoma will be blocked. So hope everyone has a great evening as Mark now pops on. Hey, talking a little bit about, no problem, Teresa. You know, every once in a while we'll get some people that are trolling and doing stuff like that. And all we can do is report them and kind of call them out while we're on the air to let people know that that is not us, and to also let them know that what they're doing is not appropriate and not accepted ultimately. So just to let you know. Anyhow, Sedona, let's talk a little bit about Sedona before I hang up with you guys, I guess you could say. We went on some amazing tours. We did a really cool 5.5-hour driving tour, which allowed us to kind of check out all of the different vortexes that are the main vortexes, I should say. There's actually 7 main vortexes throughout Sedona, but there's actually hundreds, and you really can feel the energies in them. It's funny because, and I don't know if Mark, if you're still on, that's okay. I'm just going to talk about this. So while we were in Sedona, the energy was just really beautiful. We actually got along really well. We communicated really well. And it's funny because I was looking back, we were actually staying just outside of Sedona. So driving back to our hotel, I was looking up some information about the different vortexes and so on. And it mentioned that couples, while they're actually there in Sedona, as one of the positive effects that happens with being in and around the vortexes. So I thought that was kind of cool. Interesting to note that the vortexes have masculine energy, some have female energy, some have both masculine and female energy that are balanced together. So that's kind of cool. There were a couple of vortexes that I really liked. I liked the Bell Rock vortex. I liked the Boynton Canyon vortex in particular. That one was balanced with male and female energy. And the idea is some of the energy comes up from the earth, some of the energy comes down from the cosmos, especially with the male-female energies and the male-female shifts. So that was lovely. We had so we went on that 5-hour tour, and it was really good. Turns out that the guy that was leading the tour totally into all of this. He's actually a practitioner, and he was very nice and very knowledgeable. So John Polk Tours, thank you for letting us be on your tour. He also does UFO tours at night, which are really super cool. So he has the military grade night vision goggles. And honestly, Sedona has probably one of the highest numbers of UFO sightings in the world. Okay. And we saw them, we definitely saw them. When you see a plane, the light is blinking. That tells you it's a plane, right? Did we see planes? Yes, we did see planes. But we saw a lot of other unidentified aircrafts that were moving very fast, that were moving very high, and in many cases looked like they were crossing each other, but not hitting each other. So that was kind of cool. So we saw close to 50 to 60 different UFOs the night that we went on the tour, which was really awesome as well. Definitely highly recommended if people are interested in finding out more information about that tour, or about the 5-hour tour that we went on, which had a great overview of everything. Let me know. I'm happy to share that information with you. We also went on a very special tour, and this is a tour that's totally right up my alley. For those of you that know my major connection with the Egyptian side and the Egyptian deities, in Sedona, there's a woman by the name of Devara Thunderbeat, and she is an award-winning meditation musician artist. And she has a number of different CDs out that she has made and sells. She also has a couple of books, and she spent a good amount of time in Egypt, and she works a lot with the god Thoth, who is the ibis god. So his beak is long and pointy and points down. So we immediately hit it off. I actually scheduled this earlier than before we got there, but we were doing it while we were there. So we went on a driving tour with her, a 2-hour driving tour through Sedona, around the different vortexes, and we saw some amazing rock formations, and she pointed out a lot of some of the really cool things. So we actually did see the likes of Osiris, the likes of Isis, the likes of Horus in the rocks. We saw Sekhmet also in the rocks. We saw about 5 or so different sphinxes in the rocks. So they're definitely there, and there's definitely a connection with the likes of the energy ley line from Egypt to Sedona. And there's also a big connection with it moving then out to the likes of Mount Shasta. So very, very cool. That was amazing. She also is an energy practitioner, and she did a 22-strand DNA activation on me, which was phenomenal. We had a lot of amazing things that came in, a lot of amazing energy that literally lights were flying around the room, which was very, very cool. And it definitely helped establish a much deeper connection with the Egyptian energy that I work with, because we were able to get into some really interesting material about some of the past lives that I've had, also about the energies that I work with, some of the guides that I work with, and so on. So that was really amazing. I met some new guides. I also found myself spending time in a really amazing little Egyptian temple there during the activation, which was very, very cool. So I felt amazing after that. I felt, okay, this is going to be something that will certainly help in terms of getting rid of stuff that's in my aura. Any sort of blockages that I need to get rid of, it's going to get rid of that. And it really has. So it's also heightened a lot of my abilities. So I find that right now, since I've been back, I'm finding that my readings, my channelings, my table tippings are much stronger, and my connection is much stronger. So, you definitely want to if you're interested in scheduling something with me, by all means, let me know, because we definitely can find you some amazing answers to maybe some of the things that you've been focusing on, diving into the energies that you want to work with my coaching and so on. So that's certainly something to think about. If you have questions about that, message me through Avalon Enchanted or Tori McNally on Facebook, Avalon_Enchanted on Instagram, or at Tori at AvalonEnchanted.com. So those are some things that happened with Sedona, and we saw, it was beautiful. I mean, this is just a postcard of Cathedral Rock, right? It really, granted, this is a postcard, but it really did look like this. It really did look like this. It was just absolutely magical. I would go back in a heartbeat. I intend to go back, as a matter of fact. And there going to be some surprises that come up. I'm not going to lie, that I'm going to be sharing with people a little bit down the road. I'm not ready to make any sort of major announcements yet, but I think that there are going to be some really interesting partnerships and collaborations that I'm going to be working on. So anyhow, hopefully I will see you either at the Bedazzled and what is it? Bejeweled and Bedazzled. You got to get your tickets ahead of time. Or I'll see you at the A Touch of Magic Psychic Fair on Saturday the 7th, or Sunday the 8th. But message us and if you want a reading, or if you want a healing, or if you're interested in learning more about some of the different healing modalities that both Cindy and I work with. Go to I Love Wickford Village on Facebook, also on Instagram. It's going to give you a lot of the details of Wickford Wicked Week, which is 3 weeks. And we are participating in a lot of it. So we're very happy to be in Wickford. And like I said, we are now in the process of bringing in a lot of great crystals. So you definitely want to check them out. Some of them are, the tumbles that are great to have on with you, to have with you with different work that you're doing. We also have some really cool specimen crystals. For those of you that know me, know that I am a total crystal whore. And I haven't met a crystal I haven't liked. So crystals have been something that has been a big part of my life for a while. And we are now bringing crystals into the shop for sale for people to purchase. There are going to be some other goodies that are going to be coming down the pike in the near future as well. So hope everyone has a great evening. Hope everyone has a great week. Can't believe it's already almost the beginning of October. I am also taking bookings for table tipping parties and tarot parties in November and December. So check those out now. Unfortunately, I'm not really doing any table tipping parties in the month of October other than what I have scheduled. So just an FYI, but definitely book now so you can get a date that you want in November or December or even January. Okay. So take care. Catch you later. Thanks so much. Bye-bye. I gotta pick this up.